New opportunities, expansion, wish fulfillment. We have so many good things coming up in the collective energy, and let's talk about it a little bit. In the evening of May 25th, we officially have Jupiter over here moving into Gemini. You can see it's at the 0 degree. I'm so excited for this energy. A lot of people like to fearmonger when Jupiter is in Gemini because technically they are on opposite sides of the axis, making Jupiter in detriment here. But really, to me, they're both such positive signs, both Sagittarius and Gemini, that you're getting like this very student-teacher dynamic between this planetary energies. You're kind of like oscillating between, okay, I'm learning, and after you learn, you kind of go out of your way and share this knowledge with others. So it's like switching hats between both of those. With Jupiter in Gemini, you can really expect to have very like collaborative energy around you. You can expect to reach out to your community and focus on mental goals, mental achievements here. So anything technological, Mercury does rule over technology. We're probably going to see expansion within the tech world all the way up until next year. I mean, we have Pluto and Aquarius for the next 20 years or so. So this is going to be a heavy theme regardless of this Jupiter transit. But we might see like really solid blips of technological advances here because Jupiter is very expansive energy. It can also be instant wish fulfillment, even on a small level. Jupiter has been in Taurus since last May, and it's kind of interesting to see that. So Taurus ruling over all things material, financial, and if you see, one of the things that just recently happened was we had the Met Gala, right, which was all about this opulence and abundance. And while that was going on, we had protesters outside of the Met Gala literally saying how this is unjust and unfair. People commenting about how, the tickets are $75,000 and I could have bought a house for that or put a down payment on or put my kids through college, all these things. So it was really like balancing that justice scale here of the inequality that was kind of brought to our attention because of this ultra rich that was kind of expanded upon with that Jupiter transit. With Jupiter and Gemini, I really kind of predict too that we're going to have heightened energy and awareness around characters and billionaires like Elon Musk, like people that are huge in the tech world, that are really movers and shakers in that industry. I'm interested to kind of see how that plays out for all of us. On a collective level, with Jupiter transiting into Gemini here too, this could be like that instant snap wish fulfillment. This can be really switching around the energy. So Wheel of Fortune too, if you think of that, right? It is maybe rags to riches story, or maybe you had this sense of loneliness and a lack of community, and Jupiter going into Gemini really may help give you that kind of fulfillment, since Gemini does involve your neighborhood and community as well. We are going to be experiencing a lot of retrogrades while Jupiter is in Gemini, including Neptune, of course, Pluto that is already retrograded. We're going to have a Chiron retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and at the end of the year we do have Mars retrograde as well. So we're going to have a lot of reflective energies, and there's going to be a lot of different opportunities that are presented to us. Gemini energy can sometimes be like very, for lack of a better term, squirrel, what's this thing over here, right? Like you might have a hard time really channeling in on your energy here, making those discerning decisions. So we have these retrogrades coming up kind of to let us reflect and be like, is this really in alignment with me? Is this really what I want? Do I need to like reevaluate and reassess where I've been giving my energy to certain things in my life? Once again, teeter-tottering between that teacher-student dynamic with Jupiter and Gemini here, where it's like, okay, I'm a teacher, I'm ready to go, I can make these educated decisions for myself, and then kind of having that moment to be more reflective and take a step back. To get into some of the transits that play a part as Jupiter is physically entering Gemini, we actually have a beautiful trine here between Venus and Pluto. So especially today, the first opportunity potentially that we may have to see some of this Jupiterian energy coming to the forefront could be in ways that we communicate and articulate our needs to people that we care about in our lives, within relationships, maybe coworkers, colleagues. This could be a huge opportunity for any healing and growth within your relationships here, as trines are very positive energies to be brought to the forefront for you to kind of move past old paradigms and belief systems. All of those stuck energies that may still be residually impacting us from Jupiter and Taurus and all the energy that we had during Taurus season, this Pluto trine is going to help alleviate that and help us kind of move through those, especially if we have foundations that weren't serving us, that we really subscribed to or thought like these opinions about certain topics and people wouldn't change. This is an opportunity to change those things and see it from a different perspective. Another thing here, I talked about this a little bit in yesterday's video, but we do have Neptune at the 29th degree in Pisces, right? So that deals with your intuition, also can be wish fulfillment depending on what it's aspecting, anchoring your dreams down into reality. But we do have a retrograde in Neptune that we are moving into, which to me at the 29th degree already, you're having like that final boss energy, like the conquering potentially your spiritual ego or moving into a new level of spiritual healing, growth, perspective, right? But with it being retrograded starting in the 29th degree, it's almost like the hidden boss, right? So if you watch Dragon Ball Z or anything, it's like, this isn't even my final form. And then, you get a massive power up. It's kind of that 29th degree energy with this retrograde where it's going to come back again after Neptune goes direct again. And then it's going to hit that 29th degree before it finally moves over into Aries as well. And that's kind of interesting here too, because with Jupiter being in Gemini, right, you have that back and forth of that student-teacher dynamic, right? And then you have Neptune, which is at home and rulership in Pisces here, and you're kind of getting that back and forth energy too, with it being in the 29th degree, going retrograde, so on and so forth. So I feel like Jupiter is really going to help a little bit, at least intellectually, to help you grasp these new ideas, to help you integrate some of these spiritual lessons or teachings that you may have observed while Neptune has been in Pisces, which has been quite a long time for all of us. On the 25th here, we also have Saturn sextile Mercury, which is, I feel like, very perfect. It's like just heightening that Mercurial Gemini energy in Jupiter too, right? A sextile is a positive aspect that you have. You have ease and transformation in the foundations and structures and discipline that Saturn rules over. So, and Saturn is also sometimes known as the teacher as well. So more of that Jupiterian, Gemini and Jupiter energy kind of reflecting in this transit. Overall, Gemini and Jupiter is going to be a huge opportunity for us to really kind of narrow down where we want to spend our energy, how we want to spend it, and what's really important to us. And part of the way that we step into that energy is we're going to be given a lot of different opportunities from a lot of different aspects of different planetary themes too. So just take the time to slow down, because Gemini is a very fast-moving sign being ruled by Mercury, which is a very fast-moving planet. So take the time to slow down and sit with yourself and see if what the opportunities that are coming to you are actually in alignment with the type of life that you want to build for yourself. Sometimes there can be too much of a good thing, and Gemini and Jupiter is, I feel like, a good example of that, because we will have all these opportunities, but one thing that's important for Gemini energy is to really set boundaries with things that aren't in alignment with you. It's okay to say no to things that you don't want to do. Don't spread yourself too thin. It's very easy to just be very excited with this energy and pumped up. But if you're spreading yourself in a million different directions, you're not going to have the passion and the drive to actually give yourself to the things that are in alignment with you. And of course, since we still do have this Libra Aries axis with the North and South node, that is going to be a theme between your individual needs and potentially dealing with others and people pleasing. So that is always going to be an underlying theme here for this transit. So just keep that in mind as well.